joining here. I think you guys are the first duo authors that I have on the docket here, which is pretty cool. So let me get this all set up here. Okay, so you guys can hear me okay, right?
Yep. Yeah.
All right, very good. All right, real quickly, tell me how life is going. Tell me everything. Tell me everything about your life.
Go ahead, Hope. Okay. I mean, oh gosh, it's like up in the air, but it's not, so you never know.
Well,
yeah,
you work like 20 jobs too, right?
Yeah, like I try not to count because I think I get too sad if I find out how many I actually work.
List all of them. Tell us what you do.
Oh gosh. Okay, so I'm a literary agent, and I also work as an assistant to a literary agent. I work as an admin assistant at Serious Writer, obviously a writer. I am a freelance writer in that I do stuff for crosswalk.com, freelance editor. I think that's it. Oh, I feel like I'm missing. Oh yeah, technically I'm an acquisitions editor at a play publisher, but we haven't had like any foot traffic. So yes.
I was going to say, I've read a couple of your bios, and I thought you were leaving a couple jobs out there.
Oh yeah. So yeah, things are good. Just preparing for 2 books to launch. And then we have some exciting things that are possibly in the pipeline. So yeah, that's what's happening over here. How about you? Alyssa also works a billion jobs. So Alyssa,
yeah, so why don't you list those too? Make me feel bad about myself.
Oh
Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm the publicity manager at a small publishing house, but I also do a whole bunch of other things. So I'm the publicity manager, but I do acquisitions, editing, actual like copy and content editing. We just launched a new speculative fiction imprint, so it's Mountain Brook Inc., and we just launched Mountain Brook Fire. I'm also a literary agent and a writer. And I'm also a freelance writer like Hope. I also write for Crosswalk and their subsidiaries. And then I do freelance editing. Do I do anything else, Hope?
I think that's it. So yeah, she does a lot too. She always blows me away. She's such a hard worker. She's the hardest worker I know. So yeah.
Yeah. How do you guys know each other? And do you guys ever get to sleep? How much sleep do you get with all your million jobs that you do?
Oh my gosh. So yeah, we met at Taylor University. They have a professional writing program. So super tiny school, literally in the middle of a cornfield. It's 40 minutes away from everything. So we met there. I don't remember how we hit it off, but eventually we did. And now we're pretty much best friends. So that is kind of where we met each other.
Do you guys have like the matching lockets or the matching tattoos or anything like that?
We have like a group matching necklace that we have with a bunch of friends, but okay. I made Hope a matching bracelet, but I haven't mailed it to her. I made it in December.
Well, then that makes it official. You guys are definitely best friends then. So what, after Taylor University, you guys went into what, business together, sounds like? Or same literary agency?
Yeah, so basically a year before Alyssa went with them, I was interning with them. And so part of the program was you had to get an internship somewhere, and internships were really hard to come by. And so through that connection, we had a lot of different people in the program intern for the agency. Some of them decided it wasn't for them, and then some of them went for it. And so Alyssa was one of those people who had interned with the same place, and then we just decided that we wanted to take a whack at it, and here we are.
Well, very cool. That sounds pretty great. Now, Hope, I understand that you just had your second book in the Blaze trilogy released, right?
Yeah, so it's up for pre-order. It technically releases in July, but yeah, so we're getting prepared for that. It's a little crazy. I'm sure you remember from releasing your book how crazy things can be. I'm getting ready for that. So that's happening. And then I'm sure what we're going to be talking about in this call is 2 months later, Alyssa and I are going to be releasing the next book. So it's been a little crazy getting ready for that, but yeah.
Yeah, so one question about the Blaze trilogy, though. Actually, 2 questions. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about what that is and kind of prepare us for this upcoming next book.
Sure. So basically, the Blaze trilogy is I take the Book of Daniel and then I stick it in a modern-day high school. And so I essentially chopped it up into 3 different parts. And so for those who are familiar with the story, the first part kind of takes you through the fiery furnace part. Second part is the lion's den, which is the part that's coming up. And then the last part, which just got a contract, is all those trippy visions at the end. So that was fun to write. So basically, the first book follows the story of Danny when he is forced to transfer to his rival boarding school when his school mysteriously burns down. So it's up to him to figure out who the arsonist is before the arsonist figures out who he is. And so in the book, we kind of reach a conclusion as to who the arsonist is, and we pick it up right afterwards in kind of the fallout and more threats that are coming to his school in the future. So, yes.
Now, very serious question for you, okay?
Here.
The Blaze trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that these books are more flammable than other books that might be on the shelves?
You know, you might just have to buy them and try it, you know, like buy a copy to read and then buy a copy to burn and just try it out. I think that would be the best way, you know, kind of scientific method is usually the best way to determine the most flammable types of books, I think.
That's interesting. That makes sense. And is does it enhance the reading experience, if you will, if the book is on fire while you're reading it?
Oh, yeah.
Very serious question.
I think pyromania always enhances a reading experience, just personally, in my opinion. But, you know, like, it's always something worth testing out. You know, you can try the book against other elements, too. See, maybe, like, the title shouldn't have been Blaze. Maybe it should have been, like, water or something. So, like, drown the book. Like, just get lots of copies and test it out with different elements.
That's very interesting. One of the selling points, I'm sure. Now, Alyssa, I understand you have a series coming out too. Is it the Wraithwood trilogy? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so after Hope and My book comes out, 2 months later, I'll be having my solo debut, I guess, coming out, and it's a YA contemporary fantasy. The first book is called Wraithwood, and it's about a teenage girl who, for the summer, goes to stay with her estranged uncle she didn't know she had at a mansion in the woods in upstate New York. And mysterious things start to happen. There's a bit of magic. There's a magical maze. Lots of fun and mystery and mischief.
Very cool. And when does that come out?
That comes out November 7th.
Okay, coming up. Now, very serious question for you, too. The pages of this book, are they made from recycled Wraithwood?
Oh, definitely, because, you know, I always try to hunt down the best, like, shadowy wood and then get it to the printer.
Good. So, quick question for both of you, okay, and then we're going to kind of get to what we've been teasing about the co-author situation here. What's the first thing that you guys remember writing? Like, when did you start on this writing journey? And Hope, I guess we'll start with you.
I mean, I feel like I've always been writing. I remember writing these 3-page stories back in first grade that I would just kind of staple together, and I paired them with my own illustrations. I thought I was pretty good. And so, I mean, I think that's what I remember always. My first memories of writing, it's buried somewhere in my mom's attic. So if you go exploring my mom's attic, you might be able to find them.
I probably shouldn't go up there, but I'll take your word for it. Alyssa, what about you?
Well, so when I was like 3-4 years old, I would dictate stories to my parents who would write them down for me, and then I'd illustrate them. But I think I was probably like 5 years old when I first actually wrote down my first story. And I remember this because I was going through my old stuff recently, and it was a story about a girl in Brazil who found a unicorn. And I'm not sure why I chose Brazil, because I'd never been there and knew nothing.
That's where unicorns hang out, you know.
So
well-known fact.
Right, obviously. So that was my first tale. It was about a girl in Brazil who ran away with a unicorn. And
it sounds like you had a whole staff, you know, your parents already working for you. So future literary agent there in the making. All right, so let's talk about you guys, y'all's book. Y'all finally combined your powers, and tell us about that.
Well, yeah, go ahead, Alyssa.
Either one.
So one day, Hope texts me, I think, and is like, "Hey, what if we did like letters back and forth that were of a superhero and a supervillain that had to be paired together?" And I said, "That's pretty cool." And then it evolved, and Hope remembers the process more than I do because I just remember how it started and then how it happened.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's tell you about that summer. So, we were talking earlier about how we each work like 7 jobs. So we were doing that summer, but being unpaid for it, and also decided it was a good summer to write several books. So I'm trying to remember the exact reason how I came up with the story. I know my friend was on Tinder at the time, and she was telling me about all her different date escapades and sort of some men that she was happy she was not seeing again. And so I don't know, we had also created parody Twitter accounts where she was like the cliche YA villain and I was the cliche YA hero. And so kind of all those elements combined, we just decided to get on a Google Doc and have a lot of fun. And we wrote it in 9 days. So I honestly don't remember most of it either. It was all a blur. And so we did not get sleep, and here we are.
Yeah, 9 days. I mean, that's almost unheard of. That's pretty crazy. So tell me about these parody Twitter accounts. Are they still active? Like, are they still floating out there in cyberspace?
Yeah, so mine is at cliche YA hero, and Alyssa's is
at casual YA villain.
Well, there you go. So you guys can go look at that. So when does the book come out?
Comes out September 1st. Yep.
September 1st. Now, you guys know because I actually had the privilege of getting to read some of it, and I thought it was very, very clever. I think it was a really cool twist on the superhero genre, and I just really enjoyed it. So I'm super looking forward to its release in September. Yeah. Is this in a planned series, or is this a standalone?
So it is a duology, and we have some ideas for some spin-offs. So the publisher does have the full sequel, which we wrote in 8 days. So that was crazy too. And so we wrote that. Oh gosh, do you remember which month it was that we wrote? It was like February or something.
It was February.
And so publisher has that. It's planned to come out sometime April of next year.
Very cool. And then if you guys ever do a third one or a spinoff or something, you got to write that one in 7 days. So each one that you do is just going to up the ante a little bit. Well, let's get to before we get to kind of what we're geeking out about. I got a quick game for you guys. Now, normally what I do with my guests is, we normally do like an icebreaker. We're kind of switching things around right here. But since you guys are BFFs, this is called the game of this or that, and we're kind of flipping the script. We're switching it up on you. So now you guys have to actually guess each other's answers to this question, or these questions that we're going to talk about. So are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. We'll kind of go back and forth here. So Hope, this one goes to you first. All right. So Alyssa's favorite Doritos flavor, is she a Cool Ranch or a nacho cheese kind of girl?
I'm going to say nacho cheese, but I probably got it wrong.
And what is the answer, Alyssa?
I can't decide. I love them both.
Ooh.
So Hope is like 50% right.
All right, we'll take the 50% then. All right, same question to you, Alyssa. She a Cool Ranch or a nacho cheese kind of person?
I believe she's nacho cheese.
Yeah.
Is that all right? We're combined 75%. I don't think that math works out.
No.
You get the answer. Okay, so we're going to go to Alyssa. Hope, does she like burgers or tacos more?
Ooh, I'm going to say tacos.
Yes.
Tacos? Got
Definitely.
the right answer. All right, Alyssa, what's Hope's answer?
Tacos. No, dang it.
Ooh.
Sorry, my favorite place is Five Guys, but tacos are great.
Tacos are great, but we got the Five Guys. Next question. And we'll go to Alyssa first. So this one is Hope. Does she like pumpkin spice lattes or nattes?
Well, Hope doesn't like coffee.
So that would be a no then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then same question for you, Hope.
I don't think Alyssa's a pumpkin spice girl, but maybe I'm reading her all wrong. I'm going to say no to her too.
Latte. Okay. No pumpkin spice lattes for you guys. So, Hope, what is Alyssa's real life superpower?
Ooh, oh my goodness. I mean, is it kind of just open-ended? I would say like her stamina, her drive, she's such a hard worker. She's so creative. Anytime she gets knocked down, she just comes right back up and fights even harder. So, I mean, I would say never giving up is her superpower.
It's a good superpower. Alyssa, what's Hope's real life superpower?
Oh my goodness. Well, it's well known that Hope is superhuman.
Sounds
Hope
like
is
it.
incredibly driven and speedy, and yeah, nobody can keep up with Hope. She's always going. She's the hardest worker that I know. And yet she's still incredibly sweet and always there for her friends.
We're having a moment here. I feel it. Okay, so let's get to what you guys are geeking out about. We'll just go with, we've kind of been throwing it to Hope, so let's go with Alyssa first. Tell us what you've been geeking out about lately, what we can put on our list of stuff to geek out about too.
All right. Well, Avatar: The Last Airbender. I didn't watch it as a kid. I'm watching it for the first time now, and I'm at the beginning of season 2. And I missed out. It is wonderful, and
So
I need an Uncle Iroh.
Everybody could use an Uncle Iroh. What else? You got anything else you're geeking out about?
Oh man, I geek out about a lot of things.
We can always come back to you.
Yeah, why don't we go to Hope? What are you geeking out about, Hope?
Toss it over to you.
She took my first one. I wasn't allowed to watch Avatar as a kid, so I actually am at the beginning of the second season too. And I definitely missed out. Uncle Iroh definitely is one of my favorite characters. I think Toph is another one of them too. She is just amazing. Love that character. So, freaking out about that. I've been introduced to a Tangled animated series on Disney Plus. Which is a pretty awesome show. Great like music, really great characters that you don't get to really meet in the Tangled movie, but you kind of get to meet in this one too. So really been enjoying that. Just finished it off. I think they did a really good job with the series. So those are the two things I'm geeking out about right now.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the movie. I don't think I've seen the animated show though. Where does it take place? Like, does it pick up at the end of the movie, or how does that work?
Yeah, so it's supposed to pick up pretty much like right after the movie happens. Although I guess technically it's like right before the credits happen in the movie. And so there's a sort of Disney Channel movie special that happens right before the series. So you have to kind of watch that first to get a little background on what's happening. But it's basically in between the years of when Rapunzel moves into the castle and when she and Eugene get married. So you kind of get the little backstory of her in Corona and everything that goes crazy in that town and all the people who kind of make up that town too.
That's a hot button title, a hot button name right now. Corona. Yeah, that was one of my favorite ones. Why don't you guys give us your top 3 favorite Disney movies? Are you guys Disney fans?
Yeah.
Right. Got to go for it.
Do you want to grab this one first, Alyssa, or do you want me?
Oh, okay. Disney. Can we just take Pixar out so that I don't have to think about that too? Okay.
Disney animation.
All right. I love Tangled.
Mm-hmm.
Whew, okay, this is hard. Oh no.
You more of like a Renaissance, Disney Renaissance 90s, early 2000s girl, or do you like more of the new stuff, or are we talking about like classic Disney? What's your era?
Man. See, I grew up on a steady diet of Disney and was obsessed with all the Disney princesses. But, I mean, I have to say Moana is another favorite.
It's classic.
I don't know.
All right, that's 2.
I can't choose.
Got to decide a third one.
Oh.
Because so far we're all still in computer generated. We're still in the CG era.
We are.
Any 2D favorites?
This is my problem, is I'm like trying to pick which of those is my favorite. Oh man, I think
These are your top 3 for the rest of your life. Desert Island. These are the only 3 you can ever watch.
all right, I guess I'm gonna have to go with Beauty and the Beast.
Classic. Hope Desert Island. Top 3 Disney movies. Can't ever watch anything else ever again. It's just these 3.
That's okay. I just need these 3 anyway. So I love Disney movies. My number 1 is Hercules. And I did hear they're coming out with a live action.
You already picked your 3. You've got your Desert Island. You can't watch Hercules ever again.
It's okay. My desert island's neighboring, so you can visit, I guess. So yes, Hercules is my favorite one of all time. I love all things ancient Greece. I'm a history nerd, and so actually there is a Hercules TV show on Disney Plus, and yes, I did watch.
Yes.
So yes, that would be number 1. Number 2 is Tangled. I just love Rapunzel. wonderful princess, beautiful story, love all of that. And number 3 is actually a weird one. It's Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph, really?
Yeah, I like high concept movies. I really like movies that you kind of wish like, oh, I wish I would have thought of something like that. You know, it was just so unique the first time I saw it. I really like the idea of video game characters interacting with other video game characters and that sort of thing. So yeah, that would probably be my top 3.
I did like Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph was really good, and I was watching the Hercules series too. I used to watch that like before school every day, so that was pretty cool when Disney Plus brought that back. I'll tell you what I'm really hoping that Disney Plus brings back. I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't know that I know anybody who remembers this, but there was a Toy Story cartoon series, Buzz Lightyear. I don't know if you guys have even seen that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was.
I used to watch that all the time, and I actually, this is how much of a nerd I am, in case it's not already clear. Back in the Disney Plus like feedback section, I actually, you know, where they were saying, "Hey, what do you want to see on Disney Plus?" I put in the Buzz Lightyear Star Command, because so if you do see that end up on Disney Plus, that's because of your boy here. So, anything else? You guys got anything else on the horizon? Any other projects you guys want to plug before we wrap it up here?
Oh man, do we have projects to plug? We always have projects going on.
With as many jobs as you have, that wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, I personally have like 8 other books that are out on submission right now, so I don't know which ones are going to go through and which ones aren't, but yeah, definitely keep up with Alyssa. Alyssa's doing all sorts of amazing things. She's really humble, but really she's doing amazing things with her clients. She's doing amazing things with her own books, so she's a person to definitely watch and keep up with for sure.
Very cool. Where can people find you?
For me, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of them, at Alyssa Roat, but it's not R-O-A-T, it's W-R-O-T-E.
I see what you did there.
Yes, so it's a pun on my name.
And then Hope, where can people find you?
Sure. So you can find me at Hope Bolinger. That's BOLINGER.com. And if you do at Hope Bolinger, you should be able to find me on most social media networks.
Very good. And we'll put links to all of your media handles in the description below. So go ahead and check that out. Guys, I think we did it. This was fun.